Hi everyone, here we are at the APRL off-season kart challenge and race 1 at Red Bull Ring on the short circuit, and we're in the shifter karts. There's I think about 12 or 14 entered and we're ready to go. I didn't really hit the start very well. I'm not used to these standing starts, but managed to hold on to P3. This was a reverse grid start, so I was pretty nervous. I've got to say, don't like reverse grid starts. A little bit of a bump there, but no harm done. And I've got Belder up ahead, and I'm going to tuck in behind, try and get a nice exit here, which I managed to do, and hold the outside and back into first position about halfway around the first lap. So we're coming up towards the end of the first lap and not using a lot of the track here, and I'm trying to stay off the curves because the shifter kart will bounce around pretty significantly, as you'll see later, if you get it up on the curves. Still plenty of track there I could have used, so not really optimising my lines or the track, so I probably could have gone a little bit faster here. And in the top right hand corner you'll see the fast guys who have started at the back of the grid because of the reverse grid, and lots of them with penalties, and trying to get back on terms with the slow guys up front. So looking at the back, I've got a little bit of a gap to the people behind me, and there is a penalty there for one of the drivers, so that will give me a little bit of breathing space as we move in around the second lap. So again, still plenty of track I could have used here. I know we're out towards the outside of the track, pretty wasteful, and almost to the apex there, staying on the inside here, shifting down. Yep, still plenty of track to use there, so again, not really optimising my lines, and something to be learned further on down the road. So I've got about half the main straight here, maybe a little less, to the guy in second, who's a little bit of a gap to the third place driver. So I'm expecting the fast guys to start to catch up to me fairly soon. This is an 11 lap race, and we're now into the middle of the third lap, and surprisingly for me, I'm still leading. So I'm trying to be as smooth of it as I can and not get the kart up onto the curbs, as I said. And just looking back here, I had a fair gap again. Missed that apex. A little bit of track that I could have used there. Missed that apex. A little bit of extra track could have been used there again. But we'll have a look at the back and see how we're placed for the guys trying to catch us as we go under the sign here. And yeah, nothing much has changed actually, except that they're probably a little bit closer, but one of the drivers has got a penalty, so that will give me a little bit of breathing space again. So head down, focus on smooth, trying to hit my marks, getting my shifts right. That was a bit better there, and that was a lot better there. Just a little bit of the ripple strip there, and we're heading down to the end of lap 3. I think we're on now, or maybe it's 4, and still holding on. There's a bit better track line there, a little bit more of the track, so really getting into the rhythm of this race. And across the line we'll have a quick look behind us to see whether we're holding on to our position, and in fact, if anything, we've stretched out our advantage to the people behind us, using a little bit more track, pushing a little harder, and in the middle of the pack, in the top of the road, the top corner, there's still a little bit of activity going on, but no one seemed to be making up much ground. I was quite surprised. I really do like Red Bull Ring, and the short circuit I find pretty nice to drive. So maybe that would explain why I'm holding on here okay. Better line there this time. But if you have a look at the drivers in behind me, you can swing out quite wide on that second to last corner and not get a penalty. So that was something I wasn't aware of. I'm surprised you could get so far off track without a penalty. So another lap gone and still plenty of gap behind me, and I'm starting to wonder whether I couldn't possibly podium in this race. So trying to focus on smooth, trying not to get hard on the brakes because these things are pretty unforgiving. Trying to maximise the track now and making sure I use all of the track wherever I can. But again, I've still got plenty up my sleeve in terms of width I could have been using at this stage. I've managed to get the last two corners down pretty pat by this stage, and we get up onto the straight again, complete another lap. These are pretty quick laps, of course, not any time at all to get around a lap, probably about a minute, a bit under. And looking at the back, plenty of space, much better use of that T1 there, keeping my speed up. Should be getting wider here though, just not maximising that line through that corner. Using a bit more there, touching the inside, that's good, and just not quite getting out to the edge of the track, which means I could have probably pushed a bit harder if the truth be known. But at this stage I'm still in front, so I'm trying to be a little bit conservative but also hold on to the gap to the people behind me. So coming up now, we're going to complete another lap. It's all pretty quiet in the midfield behind me, and I'm still holding on to a reasonable gap to the car behind me. I think I got up to about 4 seconds at one stage, and very happy with that. So you can see there, very little sign of anyone behind me at that stage. So I decide I just got to keep doing what I've been doing and ensuring no mistakes, because it is a short race and there's a big possibility of a podium here, because I have not had a podium with the league guys ever. So I'm pretty excited by the possibilities. Again, look out the back and there's not much to be seen. Another lap down and getting towards the tail end of this race now, and wondering just what might be possible. Not sure why the cars behind me just weren't catching. Guessing that there wasn't a great differential in speed between the really fast guys and myself. So I wouldn't normally race with these really fast guys, but in the off season you get to race with everyone, because the lobby situation is a lot less drivers, and so you get mixed in with guys that are pretty close rated, and us really slow guys just get put in the bottom lobby. So this is lobby B. You can see someone off the track above, and very easy to do in these karts. If you get a wheel anywhere close to a curb or the grass, you're gone. And you can see a little bit of a battle there in that top right corner as they try and chase each other down off the back of tracks. And here I really were putting myself at risk, hitting that inside curb at T1. Very easy to push yourself wide and get a penalty there. So note to self, don't do that again. So I decide here to be a little bit more conservative and make sure I hold on to the position, because we're on the last lap now and there's not far to go just under a minute, and I will be at the finish line. And as I come around the final corner, still with a decent gap to the car behind me, I realise I'm actually going to get my first win with the Apex Point Racing League. Very, very happy with that outcome. And you can see that conservative approach means that Grim got reasonably close to me at the end, but I managed to hang on for that win. So, very happy. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you on track.